Hi everyone, my name is Zane Webb, and this is my rough draft peer review of my interdisciplinary research proposal. It is on human-induced changes on surf breaks. For this video, I thought I would just include some pictures in the background for you guys to look at. They don't always have a ton to do with the content, but I'll try to explain them some. So this picture is actually of a famous break in Hawaii called Pipeline, and I'll talk more about that later. The overarching question of my research was, how can changes in coastlines due to human-induced processes affect surf breaks? So the purpose of this research paper is to explore how human-induced environmental changes like coral acidification, climate change, coastal erosion, things like that, how they can affect surf breaks and kind of the surrounding ecosystems that come with them. So by investigating these environmental conditions that surf breaks are formed from, along with gathering an understanding of the economic and cultural significance of surfing and famous surf spots, this study aims to highlight the importance and fragility of these natural formations. Through an interdisciplinary approach combining environmental science, oceanography, and even economics, this study intends to raise awareness about the impacts of human activities on surf breaks and advocate for sustainable practices to protect these vital resources for future generations. In this study, since we'll be looking at not only how we can affect surf breaks, but also why we need to put in the effort to protect them, we will be using a sustainability-based theoretical approach. And like I mentioned before, this study will kind of be looking at this issue through multiple disciplines, including oceanography, environmental studies, conservation, and even economics. This topic really requires an interdisciplinary approach because we're not only looking at the science of how a wave breaks, but also how and why humans are affecting surf breaks. Many surfers describe surfing as more than just a sport. Many view it as a lifestyle, with some even calling it an art form. No matter how you look at it, though, you can't argue that it's a cultural cornerstone for many coastal communities. It's also a massive economic driver in places blessed with good waves. However, good surf breaks are not very common since they rely on a ton of natural factors like bathymetry, swell power, swell direction, wind direction, and a lot of other things. If you have all of these, though, a world-class wave can be created, but it can be very fragile. Along with this, coastlines are undergoing dramatic transformations due to human-induced processes such as coastal development, climate change, and coral reef degradation. These changes not only reshape the bottom of ocean floors, but also threaten surf breaks. Understanding how human activities alter the ocean floor and affect wave dynamics is crucial to protecting these fragile ecosystems. By examining the intersection of environmental science, oceanography, and economics, this research seeks to explore the broader implications of environmental changes on surf breaks and the communities that depend on them. And also, this picture, along with the last few, have been of a wave called Pipeline in Hawaii. This picture shows the reef formation that is under Pipeline, so you can kind of get a better picture of what I'm talking about. Not all reef formations are this dramatic, but Pipeline is a very big and dangerous wave, and it's shaped by this large formation. For my data collection, I will use a mix of multiple processes. First, I'll select a number of famous surf breaks around the world, and at each location I'll set up a survey where I interview local surfers and scientists that are connected to the surf break and the surf scene, and I'll collect qualitative data and observe changes from them in surf quality and consistency over time. And then along with that, I'll set up an observatory experiment to get real quantitative data that will show if and how coral bleaching and other natural processes can affect wave quality at different surf breaks. To do this, I would need to set up studies at surf breaks in different parts of the world, both with and without these natural processes like coral bleaching and erosion. And in both, I would gather data on the general quality of the wave, like size, power, and things like that. And I would have to average them over a long period of time. Along with that, I would also collect quantitative data on erosion and coral health and any other factors we would be studying at the given surf breaks. For the data analysis, we'll just compare the responses of the qualitative data from the surfers and scientists and see if what they're saying has any correlation. For the quantitative data, we'll use statistical analysis like ANOVA and t-tests, and we'll use those things to compare the wave height, frequency, power, and compare them with coral health and overall surf break health, and see if there's a significance between the correlation in the two factors. Anticipated findings of the study could reveal that these processes are harmful to surf breaks. They could alter wave patterns and coastal frequencies, potentially leading to less frequent and less powerful waves. This is really concerning since surf breaks are often made of coral reef formations vital for biodiversity, and along with that, coastal economies greatly benefit from tourism stemming from surfing. An interdisciplinary approach that integrates environmental science, oceanography, and economics is essential because each field addresses distinct aspects of this complex issue. If we use this interdisciplinary approach, we can really emphasize that these results are important to more than just surfers, and this research underscores the interconnectedness of environmental health and human economies, emphasizing the need for fully integrated conservation and management efforts to protect our coastlines and our waves. Since the study is so broad, there are several limitations to the research. I would say one of the main limitations is the fact that these natural processes like erosion and coral acidification are very long-term processes, and they can be very hard to document. So with that, it might be hard to properly convey how much the coastline and the surf break is actually changing due to human processes. Since this study is so broad, there are also many implications to the results. On a local scale, findings could help build policies promoting sustainable coastal development, reef conservation, and carbon reduction strategies to preserve these surf ecosystems. On a larger scale, this research could also highlight the importance of collaboration across many disciplines like environmental science, economics, and even recreation management and oceanography. Ultimately, it could offer actionable insights for real-world applications. This research highlights the profound impact that human-induced processes can have on surf breaks. These surf breaks are often natural structures that are critical for both ecological health and economic vitality. These natural processes can disrupt wave patterns and coastal processes, leading to diminished wave quality and frequency. These changes can threaten biodiversity, particularly in coral reef ecosystems, which serve as the foundation of many surf breaks. Along with that, economically, the degradation of surf breaks could result in big losses for coastal communities reliant on surf tourism and surf industries. By integrating insights from multiple disciplines, this research illustrates the need for multidisciplinary approaches to understand these complex challenges. Future studies should keep investigating more local impacts of coastal changes on surf breaks and explore strategies to mitigate these effects. Efforts to conserve these waves and ecosystems must balance ecological preservation with an economic viewpoint, emphasizing the monetary value of protecting the planet. This proactive viewpoint is necessary to safeguard surf breaks for generations to come. On a personal level, this topic relates heavily to both my professional and academic pursuits. Here at UCF, I'm wrapping up my bachelor's degree in environmental studies with a focus in sciences and biology. During my time here, I really furthered my interest in sustainability and conservation, learning about how humans interact with our planet. And growing up right next to the beach, I've always had a really deep appreciation for the ocean and surfing. I've surfed almost my whole life, and it's really helped me understand the importance and fragility of our oceans. This interest led me to the major I'm currently in. I hope to blend these passions in my professional pursuit, finding a job where I can put my conservation teachings to use in a way where I can protect the ocean and the surf breaks that I've enjoyed all my life. And also, this is a picture of me surfing back home in Florida. It does have to be said that this wave is a lot smaller and a lot less dangerous than Pipeline, which was all the other pictures. But still, I wanted to include it because it is me. And these are my works cited. A lot of them are on surfing and surf breaks, but then there's also some just on coral acidification, and there's also some sources on beach erosion. I tried to get a lot of varied sources because this was a pretty interdisciplinary project.